O extremismo é frequentemente exibido como uma intolerância religiosa que recai muito frequentemente sobre mulheres e crianças. O diálogo global que se segue traz-nos a este palco o testemunho de uma sobrevivente, as suas memórias, dolorosas, naturalmente, e os seus esforços para a educação. A moderar o debate estará a jornalista Helena Coelho, editora executiva do jornal online O Observador. Helena. Ania Ringren-Loven trabalhou como ajudante humanitária no Malawi e na Tanzânia e mais tarde, com o objetivo de ajudar milhares de crianças na Nigéria, fundou a sua própria ONG, tentando até hoje garantir que todas as crianças no estado de Akwa Ibom têm a oportunidade de ir à escola. No ano passado, a sua ONG comprou uma grande porção de terra na Nigéria, onde construiu a Terra da Esperança, um novo centro para crianças. Anya. Okay, you come. Refugiada yazidi, Farida Khalaf foi uma das muitas jovens que foram agredidas, violadas e vendidas em mercados de escravatura em Raqqa. Parte da sua história está relatada no livro A Rapariga que Derrotou o Estado Islâmico, que revela as atrocidades sofridas por ela, então com 19 anos, quando os jihadistas invadiram a sua vila, no norte do Iraque, junto à fronteira com a Síria. Conseguiu escapar de um campo militar do Daesh e fugiu para a Alemanha, onde relatou a sua história e continuou os estudos. Está nas conferências do Estoril, acompanhada do seu tradutor. Farida. Mais uma vez peço que mantenham os vossos telemóveis no silêncio e dou agora a palavra à Helena Coelho.
Obrigada, Clara. Eu vou falar em inglês, uma vez que as nossas convidadas será mais fácil estabelecer aqui o diálogo. Hi everyone, it's a great pleasure to be here today. It's a privilege to share this stage with two amazing women. They have different stories. We are here to talk and debate radicalism, religious intolerance. I prefer to say that we are here to talk about people that don't give up, people that want to win over bad things, over the cruelty, and they are a sign and a symbol of hope. Just to start our discussion, I'd like to ask Farida to tell us about her story. He wants to share a little of her cruelty and their horrific experience with us, just to know how his life has been these last years. Farida, if you please tell us a little more.
السيدات والسادة الكرام طابت أوقاتكم.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
نيابة عن نفسي وإسالة عن المجتمع اليزيدي الذي تعرض إلى الإبادة الجماعية والتي لا زالت مستمرة، أشكركم على إقامة هذا الحدث المهم وأتطلع على أن تتكاتف وتتوحد جميع الجهود لخدمة الإنسانية.
On behalf of myself and my Yazidi community, who are still facing an ongoing genocide, I want to thank the organizers of this amazing conference for inviting me, and I hope this conference and other debates will be a hope for humanity and better humanity in all the world.
بداية أود أن أعرفكم على نفسي. اسمي فريدة عباس خلف، فتاة يزيدية من قرية كوجو، بلدة سنجار بمحافظة نينوى في العراق، ناجئة من قبضة تنظيم داعش الإرهابية وعضوة في منظمة يزدة.
First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Farida Abbas Khalaf. I am a Yazidi girl from Kocho village in Sinjar near Mosul City in Iraq. I'm an ISIS survivor and a member of Yazidi community and also a member of Yazda Global Organization.
لقد وصلني إيميل من القائمين على هذا المؤتمر ذكروا فيها بأنه يمكن أن أجلب معي والدي ووالدتي إلى هذا المؤتمر. حقيقة كنت أتمنى أن يكون والدي بجانبي في هذا المؤتمر لكي يرى مدة قوة ابنته، لكي يرى كيف هي تقف وجه داعش رغم ما تعرض لها.
When I get invited to this event, in one of the emails, they mentioned that I can bring my parents with me to this conference. I really wish my father could be here with me. I wish him to be here only for few minutes to see how his daughter, she is strong, how she is fighting, regardless what she have faced and she be through in ISIS captivity, but she is strong.
لكن للأسف أنا أنظر إلى هذه القاعة ولا أجد والدي وشقيقي، ولا أعرف هل أن عدامهم في المقابر الجماعية في قرية كوجو التي تحررت قبل أيام من قبل الحشد الشعبي العراقي، أم أنهم أصبحوا طعاما للحيوانات البرية، أم أن الأمطار والسيول قد أخذتهم دون أن يكون هناك حماية لبقايا أجسادهم.
I'm looking face by face in audience faces. I'm looking for my father, but I didn't find my father here. He's not here. Also, my older brother is not here. I'm not sure if their bones and remaining are left behind in mass grave in Kocho, or they become a food for animals, or the weather, the rainwater, wash them away because their remains are not protected and nobody is taking care of them.
هنا سوف أسرد لكم قصتي ومحنة أكثر من 500 ألف إنسان يزيدي كعينة من الأقليات الأكثر تضرراً في العالم من إجراء العمليات الإجرامية التي قام بها تنظيم داعش الإرهابية.
Now I will try to tell you my story and a story of more than 500,000 Yazidis people as an example of one of the most harmed minority in the world due to the terrorist attacks from ISIS militants.
حياتنا كانت بسيطة للغاية. كنت أعيش مع أسرتي في قرية كوجو جنوب بلدة سنجار في العراق. حياة سعيدة، لكن مجيء تنظيم داعش واحتلال المناطق اليزيدية قلب حياتنا رأساً على عقب.
We used to live a simple life. I was living with my family in a small village called Kocho in south of Sinjar, Iraq. We were happy with our simple life. But ISIS came and they destroyed everything and they control our village and all the area.
أنا واحدة من 6500 امرأة وفتاة يزيدية اللواتي تم خطفهم من قبل تنظيم داعش في آب عام 2014 ومارس بحقهم التعذيب الجسدي والعنف الجنسي وكل ما هو منافي لحقوق الإنسان، استخدامهم كسبايا وجواري للبيع والشراء في أسواق النخاسة، الاغتصابات متكررة، الإجبار على تغيير الديانة، فرض تعاليم الإسلام عنوة.
I'm one of the more than 6,500 Yazidi women and girls who were kidnapped by ISIS on 3rd of August 2014. Women and girls were physically, mentally been and also been sold and raped. They used as slaves, sold, bought in slavery markets, and repeatedly raped, forced to convert Islam, forced to read the Islamic text, forced to do whatever they want to do with them.
والنساء كانتا تتعرضن إلى العنف الجسدي والنفسي من خلال توجيه الإهانات المتكررة لهن وضربهن وإجبارهن على إداءة الصلاة وقراءة الكتب الدينية.
As I said, women were going through all kinds of physical and sexual violence every day. They were constantly beaten and forced to pray and to read Quran again and to be raped again.
كل هذه الانتهاكات والجرائم الوحشية مورسة بحق كل طفل وامرأة يزيدية وقعت فريسة في يد داعش ومن بينهم أنا الذي أتحدث أمامكم اليوم.
All these crimes were committed against every Yazidi woman and child who fell in hands of ISIS. and I am one of them talking in front of you today.
فإن حوالي 80% أي أكثر من 400 ألف إنسان من المجتمع اليزيدي نازحين ولاجئين في مخيمات شمال العراق وسوريا وتركيا ويونان ودول أخرى بدون أبسط مقومات العيش منذ حوالي 3 سنوات.
Migration and refugees crisis is main topic of this conference and also in the world. If we're talking about migrations and refugee, we shouldn't forget my people. More than 85% of Yazidi population, over 400,000 Yazidi are displaced in IDP camps or refugees in northern Iraq and Kurdistan, Syria, Turkey, Greece, and many other countries. They need everything. Over 3 years, they are waiting help.
في سنجار يوجد تقريباً نحو 40 مقبرة جماعية لضحايا اليزيديين الذين قتلهم تنظيم داعش، ويتم العبث بهذا المقابر دون أن يكون هناك حماية لهم، حيث أن عدد هذه المقابر سوف تزداد بعد تحرير المناطق الجنوبية من بلدة سنجار وخاصة في قرية كوتشو.
In Sinjar, there are about 40 mass graves of Yazidis who were killed by ISIS. Those mass graves are being mishandled without any protection for them, and a number of found mass graves will be increased after the liberation of the south side of Shingal, and especially my village Kojo.
من هنا أطالب المجتمع الدولي بأن يجدوا حلول آمنة لهؤلاء الأبرياء وأن يقوموا بمنحهم حق اللجوء في بلدانهم سواء عن طريق برامج الهجرة المنظمة أو برامج إعادة التوطين.
From here, I'm asking international community to find a solution for those victims and to help refugees and help Yazidis who are in their countries to accept them as their status as refugees, or through through resettlement program, and to protect those mass graves which are evidence of ongoing genocide. Those mass graves can be used as evidence in any international or local courts.
وأن يوفروا حماية لهذه المقابر كشواهد حية على جرائم الإبادة الجماعية التي تدعم وتقوي الملف إبادة اليزيديين في المحاكم.
As I said, to have to protect those mass graves, it is one of the most important things, because those mass graves are evidence for those crimes who committed against my people.
في الختام أشكر دولة البرتغال على استضافتنا على أرضها، وأطالب الحكومة البرتغالية بتقديم الدعم للمجتمع اليزيدي، وكما أطالب البرلمان دولة البرتغال بعقد جلسة خاصة لاعتراف بإبادة اليزيدية على غرار الدولة الأخرى كبرلمان اسكتلندا وكندا والولايات المتحدة ودول أخرى.
Lastly, I want to thank the people and the government of Portugal for having me here, for inviting me to their country. Here, I wanted to ask Portuguese government and parliament and people to support my community, Yazidi people, and ask them to hold a special session or a meeting regarding Yazidis genocide in Portugal Parliament, like many other countries they have done, like Scotland Parliament, Canadian Parliament, and United States, and many other countries.
هذه ليست رسالتي فقط، هذه الرسالة وصوت نساء اليزيديات الذين لا زالوا في أسر داعش.
This is not only my message, but it is a voice and a message of thousands of Yazidi women and girls who are still in ISIS captivity and they are suffering.
أنا أسمع صوت بكائهم وصراخهم، يصرخون بأصوات عليا من كثرة التعذيب والعنف الجنسي، وأنا أسمع صوتهم هم يناديكم ويطلبون المساعدة. أنا أخاف أن أكون الوحيدة التي تسمع صوت صراخهم. إذا أنتم تسمعون صوت صراخهم أرجو منكم أن تساعدوهم، وشكرا جزيلا لكم.
I'm hearing the sound of their cries, the women and girls who are still in captivity. Their screams, their screaming because of the result what repeatedly being beaten, repeatedly being used as sex slaves. They are physically used violence against them in all different cases. I heard their voice, but I'm scared that I'm being the only one who hearing their voices when they cry. If you also hear their voice, please join me and help them, because I'm not able to help them alone. And if, as I said, you are hearing also their voice, please do something, and thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Farida. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And you have a story of hope to tell us.
Yes.
I hope. After this, thank you, Farida, for sharing us your story. I wish you would never have to tell such a story to anyone, but unfortunately we have. Anya, you have a beautiful story to share with us. Can you please tell us?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anja Ringgren Loven. I am the founder of Din Nødhjælp, a Danish NGO, and the co-founder of Africans Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation in Nigeria. I live both in Nigeria and I live in Denmark. Our work in Nigeria is where we rescue children accused of witchcraft. In Nigeria, we have also built our own school, a vocational and entrepreneur school, and our own health clinic. My question to you is, why are children being tortured and killed and accused of being witches? Every year, thousands of children are being accused of witchcraft in the southeastern part of Nigeria. These children are being buried alive. They are being burned alive. And this happens to thousands of children every year. And this is a very serious issue that we need to address. I want to ask also the world leaders why no one is talking about these children. In our area where we are working in Nigeria, it's the Pentecostal Christianity. It's the belief that are mixed with local tribal religions that involves belief in witches and exorcism. Before I traveled to Nigeria for the first time 5 years ago, I was very angry, I was very confused, and I was actually also in shock to find out that so many children every year are killed and tortured, hanging in trees, where people use machetes and knives and killing them in the most barbaric way you can even imagine. Why can someone look at a child and believe that this child is a witch? But before we start pointing fingers, before we attack different cultures and religions, we need to find the core of this problem. We need to ask ourselves, how can we allow superstition to kill innocent children in 2017? Let us go back a little, because we need to also look at ourselves. Let us go back to the 1500 and 1600. In Europe, also in Portugal and in Denmark, where I am from, we were chasing women. We caught them, tortured them, and we burned them alive because we thought they were witches. So this superstition is not a new thing. It's actually not an African thing. For centuries, the term witch doctor has been used to describe someone who were believed to heal by using magic or witchcraft. And thousands of Africans, they still believe that a witch doctor has magical powers to be able to cure illness and fight evil powers. This is not breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. You all know what a witch doctor is. But thousands of children are still today being killed due to this very, very old belief. So we need to ask ourselves, why is children still being killed? And why is this not happening in Europe anymore? What is the difference between Europe and the countries, and especially in Nigeria, where we are working? Why are children being accused of witchcraft? I can tell you in only 2 words. It's about extreme poverty and ignorance. So how can we fight it? How can we fight this ignorance? And I only have 1 word for you: education. When children are deprived the opportunity to go to school, there will be no development. So we really need to work and promote the importance of education. That is the only weapon we can use in the fight against superstition. Education, as you all know, provides children with knowledge. It leads to enlightenment, and it lays the foundation of a strong society. Our work in Nigeria aims to ensure that all children accused of being witches have the opportunity to go to school. And we need to change the mindset of the villagers. And how do we change the mindset? We do it through advocacy programs. We need to meet the villagers. We need to help and enlighten the local communities through advocacy programs. In the world society, children are the most vulnerable. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya. The picture that we were seeing here is of a little boy that you found in the streets with 2 years old.
Yes.
That you rescued.
Yeah?
Now he's a healthy young boy, very funny boy. He's one of the 48 children that you have in a home in Nigeria and that you want to keep there.
Yes.
You don't want to take them out of the country, and you have a reason for that, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have 48 children at our children's center in Nigeria. And, okay, it's not there. But Hope, yes, on the picture, is one of our children. And the reason why we want to keep the children is because you cannot make a difference just by taking children out of their local communities. You need to eradicate the superstition out in the rural areas. So if you just pick a child in these areas where the superstition is really growing, you don't make a difference, because you need to go back and enlighten and help the villagers. And these children, they come from somewhere. These children are not orphanage. They have a home, but they can't stay in their home because there is this superstition. Mm-hmm. So we need to take responsibility as an international organization and help the villagers and bring back the children. But the best way we can also help is to make sure that the children, they get an education, that the children, they go to school every day, because one day they will grow up and become something. and they will be like our testimony of our work.
So you have to work from the inside the country, just to prove that their beliefs were hurting children. You think that that job is being successful this time that you have been working with?
Yes, we see a big change in the societies because we go out and do advocacy work all the time. And when you go and visit the villagers and you meet them at their level, you don't start pointing fingers, you don't blame them. You need to understand them. You need to have a dialogue. You need to be on their level, and that is where you can make a difference. We need to stay, even though there is chaos, even though children are being tortured and killed, and the most horrific things are happening also today while I'm sitting here speaking. Children are being burned alive, But we can't just take away all these children and think then we have done something good. We really need to stay in the environment and help the villagers change the mindset of these people.
I forgot to present Said, is accompanying Farida during these travels. I believe that you were today in the Portuguese Parliament as one of the times that you have meetings with world leaders and politicians. What do you think that they can do in order to help the cause that Farida has started in several countries?
بلي إيروز بهيتشو ما بعدان برلمان ويعني مقابلة هادنا مقابلين وترحيب يعني قلقة براسيس كيف خوش بوم أوديتن.
Yes, today I have been in Portuguese Parliament. I have met with some Parliament member. From here, I want to thank all Portugal people and Parliament as well and government to helping me. And this meeting was a positive meeting.
وأوجي يعني أسألك كيف خوش من وقت زرباوان بوم أوجي قصة ما أترينو شبرها كام بيقرا بيفتن جبروات جينوسايد وكالبرلماني خدا جينوسايد تمقين كعبادة إزديا وكا چند دولتي تيبوكن.
I was very happy to meet them, and they just there was a good meeting, and I asked them to open or to have a official meeting in Portuguese Parliament regarding Yazidis genocide, to recognize Yazidis, what happened to Yazidis as a genocide, to join other countries who they already recognize this in their countries.
وأوجي مثلا كذا مرة بيفتن قوتن أمي اعترافي بعبادة إزديا بكن أمي اللي شغلن وأسهيبيتكم وأسبه واردكم أفتش تشيبه.
After this meeting, I have a hope that they will help, because they said they will try their best to help us and to recognize this as a genocide. And I hope and I wish and I believe they will. And let's see.
Okay. She went to Sweden. Farida is now living in Germany. What do you think that could be done to help also, not only to help the ones that are imprisoned, but also the refugees that could escape? How can we help to those who want to be in a peaceful society and have an opportunity to live without threats like it used to be?
بلي أوش دستي داعشتين همو يعني كبحالة نفسينا وتعرضي كب يعني جنسه كغير بيراكرينا.
Those who survive from captivity, they still are suffering because of their nightmares and what they have gone through.
وأود محتاجي علاج نفسينا يعني حتى أنه هناك دينا كامبايا يعني محاولة انتحار تحاولين يعني انتحار بكن شبر نفسية وأنا تعبانة.
They need a psychological support. It's very important because still where they came to the camps, Some of them, they are trying to suicide.
وزبين يعني كهج دولة قاربة هنا بينيا باخوا وكا ألمانيا يعني ممنونة ألمانيا هنا هكا هزار استاد آني ومساعدة وانك.
Here I wanted to thank Germany because they have bring 1,100 Yazidi women, girls and children to Germany, and I wish other countries they will come up with such programs.
وهجيجي يعني نقاربة بينيا باخوا جيجنا كامبا يعني معالجة عن النفسي بقنا مساعدة عن الكامبا بقنا.
And if they couldn't bring them to their country, maybe they can help them in camps in Iraq, especially with the psychosocial support and therapy.
يعني بشك تشتي قاربة المساعدة وان بقنا أو محتاجة مساعدة.
So they need everything and they need help. So anything that they can help, it will be thankful and grateful for all people.
Okay. Anya, you are living in Denmark and you go to Nigeria, but now you go less than you were before because security is not as it used to be. Do you think that governments and politicians could be the most resistant to the work you're doing?
Yes, the fact is that in 2010, there was a law, you know, they passed a law in Akwa Ibom State that should, you know, ensure the safety of these children being accused of witches. But, you know, just because you pass a law, you know, does not mean that this law is being implemented in the villages, in the societies. And, you know, we need to be very diplomatic because, you know, I can't go out in the public medias and talk about what the government in Nigeria are not doing, you know, because they have the power to just come and shut down our work because they want us to portray the government in a very good way. And we also work very closely with the government because we need to work closely with the police, and we have children under our, you know, legal guardians, and you need to have a good relationship with the government. But the fact is that the government is very corrupt. The government is working also very close with some of the self-claimed witch doctors and pastors who take advantage of this ignorance.
It's also a business, right?
For a business, you know, and it's really becoming a lucrative business in the sense that there are a lot of money in this superstition. You know, you can see big posters everywhere in our area where you can go for deliverances. You know, if you are tormented by a witch, so many pastors will tell you, come and I can, you know, take out the demons in you. They use the black magic and exorcism. And they get a lot of money out of it. And, you know, I really need to be very careful the way I approach the government because in a country like Nigeria, it's easy to disappear. So I need to be careful, and I also have protection. I can't work and live in Nigeria without protection. But that is just one of those things. You know, I don't complain. I've not been through what the children has gone through, and we just need to be very diplomatic.
Okay, we have to be really on schedule. So if someone wants to make a question, I will open now the period for questions. I have this gentleman here, and then once you're the second, okay?
Farida,
After, yes.
your story was really incredible. I think that we all in this room were moved by what you said and moved by your story. I would here challenge all the journalists and television people that are here to bring your story out to the whole of Portugal. I would challenge the organization to let you speak to the Prime Minister who will be here in a little while.
Well, it's not
Thank you
really
very
a
much.
question, but if you care to comment.
أوجه بس وقت يعني الناس والتاني أو بوص اشتروا بكيت كاري بس الناس والتاني مثلا اشترى شرح. Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have another question back there. Yes?
Firstly, I would like to thank Farida for sharing her brave and inspirational story with us. And I think it's really, really good that she pushed on and pursued to achieve her ambitions in trying to fight those who hurt her so much.
Sorry, I don't hear what he's saying.
Just commending Farida for all that she's done, and yeah, there's a big debate over how far the Islamic faith is to do with the barbaric acts carried out by these terrorist associations. I would like to ask you personally how far you think that Islamic faith and ideology is accountable as the core influence of the barbaric acts being carried out by such groups as Boko Haram and ISIS. Thank you.
Thank you.
بل تجارة نابجن يعني بسلمان همو داعش.
I will never say that all Muslims are ISIS.
شبر هكا بسلمان قنجين يعني بسلمان هبون بداعش الرابون وخدانت ما كشتن وبسلمان هبون نهاتشن أرديد مدبن وشنا شريوانجي.
Yes, there were many Muslims, they joined ISIS and they killed our people. But in another hand, there are many Muslims today, they are trying to liberate our village and our cities.
بس وقت داعش هاتي يعني خمناوي الدولة الإسلامية دياكر وشبر هاتا كش الوقت كملاتي ما كشتي قد شرهون إزدينا هن بسلمان ميوكوشن.
But when ISIS, they control our areas, they came up with under the name of Islam. And when they kill Yazidis because they said because you are not Muslims.
وتقطع قلقاش ما إسلامات تقطع ما جبر بس هردم أمنا بجن يعني بسلمان همو يكن بسلمان هيا قنج وبسلمان هيا بداعش.
Maybe I have lost that trust, but I will never say that all Muslims are the same. There are many good Muslims, and yes, many of them, they also joined ISIS.
بس ما دبي يعني دولة إسلامات ابتدائية بسلمانة هما خوش داعش بريء قربا يعني قطبانا داعش نا إسلامتا جاكا هما فين قربا يعني هما زانيبا.
But I think this should be done by the Islamic countries. They should stand against ISIS and they should say that they are not Muslims. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if anyone else. Oh, there's a question there.
Thank you. I'm Antonio Costa-Macedo, and I would like to make this question to you. What do you think is the source of this radicalization of some Arab and Muslim personnel that are killing
Sorry,
everyone?
can you just speak louder because I don't hear very
What,
good?
what do you think is the source of this radicalization of these Muslim and Arab people through these countries? If you concur that the West is the first responsible for all this that is happening, and mainly the United States of America.
راستي أسبس سؤالي أسنز عن كي دعموانتك وأجي يعني في شغلي كن كروجك وقت اعترافي بإبادة إزدياد كان زانبين داعش شكوي هاتيا وشلو داعش تشيبو يعني داعش نشمال أخوة هاتيا هناك مساعدة وان كن بس أم نزانين يعني مجد بما زانبا كاكي مساعدة داعش كو داعش كدري هاتيا.
Personally, I don't know exactly who is supporting ISIS, but what I'm doing, one of the purposes that what I'm doing to bring ISIS militants to the court, and then we will together discover who are supporting them, and we will know who is supporting this ideology.
Okay. Any more questions? Oh, I have this lady here.
My question is for Anjan. Thank you very much for being here. I'm a big admirer and follower of you on Facebook. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think that can be done on a local level by local or village authorities, on the national level and also international level? By that I mean UN agencies or other stakeholders or actors that could stop these things that are happening against these children.
Thank you for the question. What is the very best way to really do against this superstition is first and foremost if we can involve the government to take responsibility to make sure that all children in Nigeria have the chance to go to school. You know, if they spend more money on the educational system, so out in the rural areas we see more children going to school. But that's the government side of it. But in the local communities, we have a lot of conversation with the village head and the village chief, because they are like, you know, the head of the villages, and we need to make them responsible for what is happening. And actually there are, you know, Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa. Nearly 200 million people are living in Nigeria, and there are so many people that they don't really have respect for human life because there are so many. So it's, they don't see this life and death as we do in the western part of the world. So, and the extreme poverty, you know, they have so many children they need to feed every day. And if they can't feed the children, you know, it is more easy to just expel a child from the village. And the only way we can really make a big impact out in the local communities is to really involve the leaders of the societies. And the leaders are also the pastors. So we really need to go out and speak with them. And many of these people, they are not really aware that there is a law. They don't know that you can go to jail for 10 years, actually. If you accuse a child of being a witch, you can go to jail for 10 years. So we really need to go out and also talk about the law, because that can also maybe scare them a little, but the best way is actually to, you know, you can't make a difference just by sitting in front of a computer and then you can change the world. You really need to go out where the problem is, sit down and start a dialogue and have a conversation, and go out and promote the importance of education. You know, I can't say it enough. It's the only way we can really conquer this superstition that are killing thousands of children in Nigeria.
We only have time for one more question. Oh, this lady here, please. Sorry, it's not time for everyone.
Thank you. I'm sorry for my bad English. My question is for Anja. How did you know about this situation in Nigeria at first time? How is the beginning? And however the law, anybody is criminalized about these crimes against children? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. I came familiar with this problem in 2008. One evening I was watching TV and I saw a BBC documentary called Saving Africa's Witch Children. And they portrayed, you know, the superstition, and I was just in shock. And that was in 2008. And then 4 years after, I established my own NGO, and I just had to, even though everyone told me, don't go to Nigeria, it's too dangerous, and it is very dangerous, I could not forget what I saw, you know, I could not, and I have also witnessed children being tortured to death. All our children at my children's center have been raped. The last we rescued, she was 7 years old and had severe bruises, and the stories of the children are so horrific. So watching this documentary in 2008 was actually what led me to Nigeria. And the last question is about the prosecutions. My husband is Nigerian. He's a lawyer very soon, and he's been working as a legal advisor for many years. He's the founder of our organization in Nigeria, and all the children's cases are being police reported. So there are police reports on all the children's cases. You can't take a child from a village without making a police report, because then you actually are kidnapping that child. And after that, you need to become legal guardians of the child, and you do that with the government, the Women's Social Welfare Department. And that's also a long process. And we want to also make sure that the law, you know, is being followed. But there are no legal actions being taken. We want it to happen, but it's not easy, because this belief in witchcraft and the superstition is really a very soft issue, fragile issue in these environments where the superstition is so big. But we are working to take legal actions against the people who are killing the children. But if you want to take legal actions, you need to know who are killing, because the villagers will, of course, not tell you, and they will do anything to hide what is happening. So the killing and the torture is happening in the nights, but we have ambassadors who are in the areas, who are the ones who are observing what is happening. But we want to really take legal actions.
Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have more time to questions and to keep this conversation. I'd like very much to thank you, Farida, and Anya and Said for helping us, sharing your experiences, giving us some signs of hope. And I'll thank also the questions that came from the audience. Thank you so much. And nice day. Boa tarde a todos, então. Até à próxima.